Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my Sister Keeper Candid Conversations. I am your host, Nadia, and I'm so excited to be here this evening with you all. Today's topic on Candid Conversations is Girl Bosses Rock. I have some amazing ladies who are in business that we're going to talk to today to talk about why did they get started in the business that they did, how did they get started, and of course, leaving each one of you with a tip on how to be successful in business. After I interview with the ladies, I want you guys to take out some pen and paper because we're going to be giving you some important information on how to be a successful entrepreneur. So at the end of my conversations with each one of the ladies, I'm going to come back on and give you all some tips on being a successful business owner. So let's get started today. My first guest, her name is Oli. I'm going to call her Oli. And she is a hairstylist and a makeup artist. And by the time I bring her on the screen, you are going to see why. She has a passion for makeup and a passion for hair. So I want to have a candid conversation with Oli to talk about how did she get started in business and has this always been a passion for her. So welcome to the show, Oli. Hi, Oli. How are you this evening?
Hello, guys.
Oh my
Hello,
goodness. Of
guys.
course, like I told everyone, you are giving me life. I am loving the makeup, the hair, and everything else. You look absolutely beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
Great. So, Oli, can you tell us again the name of your business and how long have you been in business and what made you get started?
Okay, hello, guys. My name is Oli Matubaji. I was born and raised in Gambia. Actually, everything started in Gambia. I always went to a salon. My friend have a salon in the Gambia. I always go there, always help her make her hair and stuff like that, and makeup. And unfortunately, I end up in the US. So when I came to the US, I was like thinking, what should I do? I'm kind of confused on what to do. And I think about it, I'm like, okay, there's something I love and I have to do something on it. So that's how Olibi really come. And then I start making wigs, selling hair, doing some makeup and eyelashes.
I am glad that you do something that is part of your passion and something that you love to do. And I love the fact that you are internationally because you're all the way from Gambia coming over to us, right? So we appreciate you, of course, coming over all the way from Gambia and starting a life here in America and starting a passion business. So I remember having you on the youth panel with Aji, and what struck me with you is you talked about how long does it take you to make a wig. So tell
Yes.
us how long, because I mean, I said that is not possible, but you proved me wrong. So tell me, how long does it take you to for a customer to come to you and say, "This is the style that I want. This is what I like," because I know you customize wigs as well. So tell me, how long does it take you?
Okay, literally, it just take you like 1 hour, you are done. Why I get into this wig making? Because the country I come from, you can give someone your hair. It will take you for like 2 to 3 days before you get your wig. I'm like, I have to do something for my people. So that's
Right.
how I took the class and start doing wig. So you can spend 1 hour for doing a wig. At the end of the day, you just have to measure the person head, or the person will tell you, okay, I'm a small size or a medium size or a large size. Then you go ahead and use your sewing machine and sew it, you know,
Mere
which
fact that you're doing it within an hour and then you're using the sewing machine to make the wig itself. I was absolutely blown away. Maybe because again, you see, I went all natural. I cut all mine off, so I don't wear them. But knowing that I can come to you, measure, and get fitted all within almost an hour, that is
yep.
absolutely amazing. So I know that is something that you want to get into is doing like teaching
Hmm.
others how to make these wigs, and are you open to that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah, that's
And I
that's
know.
what I want to do because my plan, to be real, my plan is to take it back to Gambia, teach them how to do their wigs on a machine. It takes you 1 hour and do it. That's my most plan right now. That's the
Yes.
only Yeah, that's the only plan I
Yes.
have for my people, you know.
To teach them and to teach them
Yes.
and teach the next one to how to be successful in getting these things done. So I am
Yes.
so happy that you not only kept that secret to yourself, you are willing to share this information with other entrepreneurs so that they can be as successful as you are.
Yes.
Oh, one of the things that did capture me as well when we talked on the youth panel was that you did some investment in yourself. You did some learning and things of that nature. Tell me of some of the things or workshops you have invested in for yourself.
Okay. First of all, I invest on doing makeup, and the second thing I invest on doing a wig. Okay, I believe in life. You don't have to know everything. You have to learn, and then you will know. Because I'm telling you something. YouTube will not tell you, Instagram will not tell you, Facebook will not tell you. You have to learn so you will know the tea. So you have to pay for it. It's not like free at the end of the day. So I pay for it and then learn and then get the get going. But it's very important to invest in yourself if you really want to do if you love what you're doing, you have to invest in yourself. So no matter what is it, rather you are sewing or you are selling hair or you are selling eyelashes, you really have to invest in yourself to really know what you are doing, because you cannot say like I'm perfect, I know everything. So that's why I decided to go forward, use I stopped buying bags, I stopped buying makeup, I stopped buying clothes. I just want to invest in myself and learn something and know something so I can teach my fellow women, my fellow sisters and Gambian people. That's my mission right now.
Perfect.
Yes.
Reinvesting in your business. You're like, look, I don't need this outfit right now. I need to pay for a class, a skill, a mentorship program, and
Yes.
you definitely invested in your craft. So I appreciate the fact that you are teaching us. That's one thing we have to do at all times is reinvest in ourselves.
Yes.
So can you tell us how do someone like me or our viewers reach you in order to A, get our makeup done because I know you're a makeup artist in the Maryland market, or B, I know you can do some sewing of the weave and everything else and have it shipped because I know you're not just doing things for Maryland, you can definitely get those things done. So I'm going to give you a few moments to talk about how can we reach you via social media or email address so that we can reach out to you to A, get our makeup done, and B, get our styles done.
Okay, the only way you can reach me is by Instagram. You can reach me at Instagram or my Facebook. My Instagram name is Hair by Oli B Beauty. So it's like Oli and then B then Beauty. And I have a website too. It's www.olibbeauty.info. So you can go to the website and like order whatever you want to do. But with the makeup side, it's easy to get me on Instagram or Facebook. On Facebook too, it's Hair by Oli B Beauty. And you can also follow me on my Snapchat. It's a long time Snapchat, so I cannot edit the name. So I decided to leave it like that. So it's Obaji53. That's my Instagram name. And I'm also a YouTuber. I forgot to tell you guys. I always do some makeup tutorials, some fun videos on YouTube. And my name on YouTube is Oli Beauty. So it's like OLIB then Beauty. That's it. That's my name. So you guys can reach me on my social media from Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, or YouTube.
Perfect. You are all over, so we can definitely reach you. I know I saw the other day where you did your makeup and your new hairstyles on YouTube, and you have a phenomenal channel. So, what I would like for you to do, Oli, is after we come off the interview with each other, Go onto the My Sister Keeper page and put all of your contact information on there: email, website, Instagram, YouTube. I want you to fill up my comments on how to get in
Okay.
contact with you. Okay?
Cool.
You're a
Okay.
phenomenal woman in business, and I cannot wait to hear some more success stories from you.
Yes. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for interviewing with me this evening. And I know your most important tip is investing back into yourself and back
Yes.
into your business
Hmm.
to get your craft and
Yes.
master your craft.
Yes. And I wanted to say a point. It's very important. Like when you start doing business, there are some people out there who will start discouraging you, telling you cannot do it. People will not buy. Most of the people was telling me, "Oh, you say you're gonna sell here. Do you know AliExpress is selling cheaper than that?" I'm like, okay, we have McDonald's, we have Chick-fil-A, we have five guys. You know, your customers will always be your customers, no matter how expensive is your product. You just
Right.
have to deliver good products, make sure people love your product. Then from there, you will grow. But immediately you listen to the people like who will start saying, "Oh, this person is selling it. We have beauty supply, we have this." Don't listen to anybody. Always, what I'm saying is, always do what you love and always have faith on it. So one day or the other, you will make it.
I love that. I absolutely
Yes.
love that. Never allow anyone's perspective of you. And that was one of my tips that I wrote down here today. The perspective of you to tell you or discern you from doing something that you love to do and
Yeah,
being great at your craft.
it's very important.
Yes, I appreciate that word of encouragement to all of our viewers. I
Mhm.
absolutely enjoyed talking to you today, and I cannot wait again for us to do our mentorship program together. We have a lot of work together.
Yes.
Cannot wait to continue to promote you.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good evening.
You too.
So we have heard from Oli, and as you can see, she came on ready to show you that she is an investment person in herself. She knows her makeup, she knows her hair, she knows how to style. So I encourage you, if you're in the Maryland area, if you are looking for a makeup artist, you can reach out to Oli. And again, if you're looking for fashion style wigs or anything of that nature, you reach out to her. Oli is going to place her information in the comment section. So I do ask that you follow each and every one of her pages that she puts in the comment section so that we can continue to support each other in business. Okay. So next we're going to jump into health and wealth. I have a great friend of mine who is getting ready to join us, Chai. She is going to be talking about her health and wellness business, and she's going to talk to us about why is it so important not only to stay healthy because we need to stay alive, but the importance of showing you how our health is our wealth. So welcome to the show this evening. Chai, how are you?
I'm doing well, Nadia. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can, ma'am. Loud and clear. You sound healthy. I'm like,
Awesome.
I need to sound as healthy as you are. Thank you so much for joining me this evening on Candid Conversations. I cannot wait to dive right in to talk about your health ambassador business. So I want to give you the honor to tell us name of your business and what made you get started.
Thank you for having me, first of all, Nadia. And I have been in business since 2010. I joined the health and wellness industry in 2008. And one of the things that I did was I encountered my mom who was dealing with a health challenge. The name of the business is Health Ambassadors Limited. I named it that because a health ambassador is not someone who goes to school to be formally educated, but they are the perfect advocate for themselves and their loved ones. And so my idea is that every home deserves a health ambassador. Right. And, you have your medical doctors and then you have your naturopathic doctors. And so I lean more toward the holistic side of health on the health and wellness side. And so we do things alternatively to get people off of medications and into a healthier lifestyle so that they don't so much have to depend on those meds. Yeah.
Said so much in that one sentence or that one paragraph that you were talking about that is so important. I love the fact that you are holistic.
Mhm.
And because for me, I have high blood pressure, I have
Mhm.
diabetes, and we've talked about, ma'am, I need to sit in front of you and we need to get this whole holistic body together because
Yes.
running this business that I'm running, I need to be healthy and I need to stay focused, right? So I love the fact that you're taking it holistically. Explain to the viewers who don't know what a holistic view of getting healthy, what does that look like?
Thank you for asking. That's a key question. And I must share that although I'm on the holistic side, I worked in healthcare. So I was able to see both sides. The medicinal side, I managed a neurology practice for over 2 years. And what I saw there is just like many people know, it may not be themselves personally, but we all know someone who is affected by either a chronic illness or something such as high blood pressure and or diabetes, which these can be managed with lifestyle changes. I again am not a formally trained nurse or medical assistant or anything like that. But what I did was I studied under a world renowned naturopath. The difference between the two is that a medical doctor is going to diagnose you, right, for conditions. And we aren't even aware of this, but I want the listeners to take note and jot this down. When you go to a doctor for the very first time, and they ask you to fill out the intake form. They give you about 4 pages with about maybe 30 or 40 questions on it. And they're asking you all of these things that may run in your family. Does anyone in your family have high blood pressure? Does anyone in your family have diabetes, cancer, all of these things? And you begin to check off these boxes if they do or do not apply, right? And so what that's doing is giving the medical doctor an idea of where they can steer you, right? Didn't think about that, right? Because
Right,
now, and especially, I'm an African American woman. As an African American woman, especially, this is done in our community significantly higher than other communities. They tell us things like, oh, type 2 diabetes runs in your family. But I like to joke and I tell people this: it may run in your family, but you having high blood pressure or diabetes is the equivalent of me drinking a soda, Nadia, and you belching, right?
right,
Because although the blood might be the same, it's lifestyle that is creating the high blood pressure, the diabetes, and those things. And so,
right.
from a holistic perspective, I believe, because I'm a believer, God put in the earth everything we need to inhabit the earth. And so,
Yes.
from a holistic practice, we use things like vitamins and minerals, and they're not all made the same. So, for many people, they are overwhelmed, number one, with information. They don't know what to trust. And a lot of it is research that you have to personally commit to doing on your own. And
Mhm.
there's no cookie cutter answer. We all have different fingerprints. And so your health package and or your lifestyle commitment is probably going to look much different than anyone else you know. And
Right.
so it's a very personal journey.
Yes, I love the fact that you talk about it's a personal journey and not everyone's healing process is going to be the same cookie cutter. Because again, like for me, when my doctor found out, oh, you're borderline diabetic, let me get you on metformin. This is what is known to do, blah, blah, blah. And then, a couple months later, my mom went to the doctor. Her sugar level was a bit elevated, but she's never really suffered with diabetes before. And they're like, oh, yeah, you need to take metformin and you need to do this. And I'm like, but wait, you just said the same thing for me. And it's not that pill is the cure. You didn't even tell me what lifestyle changes should I be doing. Should I not be, again, educating myself now when I come home on, okay, there's something that's making my sugar levels high. So do I need to now have a dietary plan where I'm looking at the things that I'm eating and what elevates my sugar when, so that I know, okay, yeah, you could only have like a small portion of this or definitely don't touch this. But you don't get that from your doctor, right? But
Ooh,
you get something like that from you.
Let me explain to you why. And this is going to shock a lot of the viewers, but I'm here for shock factor because, of course, this is about changing the narrative.
Yes.
The medical community, they probably get about maybe 8 hours of nutrition as a medical doctor. You get about 8 hours of nutrition. So we're going to the doctor expecting them to be able to share with us lifestyle changes when their only goal is to make you a patient of theirs. This as a long-time patient. And the healthier you are, the longer you stay away from the medical community.
Yes.
Even if you go in for an annual checkup, right? Which we all should be doing. We need our pap smears, we need our mammograms, we need those things. And there are alternatives to those as well. You know, you just got to know what to ask for, right? And so that's a process. But when you go into the doctor, again, their goal is to get you on a prescription. Unfortunately, because there are things called kickbacks, right? And so I've seen checks, large sum checks, come into the medical practice that I worked in. And it was for the amount of prescriptions that were prescribed to the patients during the course of a quarter. This is not an annual thing. They get these checks every 3 months, right? And so having been on both sides, it was an eye-opening experience. And I know that my calling as a holistic practitioner and to share the information that I have is much greater than even I began to believe when I first joined the health and wellness industry. This isn't about me. This is about the lives that I can save.
Right. And I love the fact that you understand both sides of the coin, right? And that was a very eye-opening shock moment for me, especially to say, you really want me to come back, because some of the medication that I would take would now have an effect on something else in my body.
Yes.
Right? So now, you were taking metformin, but now your vision gets blurry. So now you have to go see the ophthalmologist for your eyes. And I'm like, wait, my eyes was okay like 3 months ago. I took the metformin. Like, what is going on? You know,
exactly.
I had conversations with my mom, like, I am 100% fearful of taking like medications, because if there is a side effect that medication is going to give you, I'm going to get it. I feel that way. I'm like, this might make me dizzy. Yep, I'm about to be dizzy when I take this. I feel like every time I take a medication, whatever side effect it has, I'm going to get it. I'm really not a fan of taking medications because I see the effect that it has, or the controlling effect. I hate feeling that I have to take this blood pressure pill tonight as I want to live to see tomorrow. You know, I hate the fact that this pill is what is keeping me alive. Let's be honest, right? So I will reach out to someone like you that would say, okay, Nadia, let me show you, this is what meal planning is like for you. This is what vitamins is structured for you. You know, and put together that type of plan, because at the end of the day, I love being your client, but at some point, I want to be able to do this consistently on my own and making sure that I am successful and not having to continuously go back to the doctor's office for them to get a kickback check because they're giving me all these pills to take. So I know you have your mom, especially, is an absolute. When we talked about your mom and her success story, I was like, wow, this. I definitely want to, have a sit down with you, of course, and making sure that our viewers know how to reach you at the end of this. Tell me the success story of your mom.
Okay, so this goes back. My daughter is 25. This goes back 26 years, right? So I was at the age of 19. And my mom was diagnosed with a chronic illness, right? This is something that we knew was going to be a long road. And many people, whether it's themselves or some of the viewers that, they may have family members who are dealing with chronic illnesses. It could be an autoimmune. It could be anything like that, right? Where they have these daily challenges and sometimes the body just doesn't do what you want it to do, right? And this is the only place we have to live, truly, in our bodies, right? Roof over our head is a bonus, but our body is where we have to live daily. And so when she was diagnosed, as a young woman, I was an early mom and I didn't know what to do. I was like many people. I watched her go to the doctor and get the diagnosis and get the medications. And they had gotten up to about 26, right? 26 meds, 26 different medications. Okay. So imagine what that was doing to her young body. She was probably in her about maybe her 40s, mid 40s at the time.
Yeah.
And so what I know to be true is, like you expressed earlier, you take one pill and it begins to affect this, and you take the other pill to counteract the effects of that. And before you know it, organs begin to shut down and things just don't function the way they're supposed to function. And so I dove into this wellness industry. Like I said, it was 2008 that I joined Health and Wellness. I became a certified holistic life coach in 2010. And I took that as a personal journey to join my mom into getting her off of those medications. And so what I advocate is that everyone, you have a medical doctor. I'm not speaking against medical practitioners because there is a need for them. However, what I do share is once you go to your medical doctor and they give you a diagnosis, before you make any decisions, I would advise that you also contact a holistic practitioner. You want to have more than one opinion, right? Because what's happening is we're not comparing the two pieces of information.
Yes.
And while the medical doctor may say one thing, a holistic practitioner is going to say, yes, I know you've been diagnosed with diabetes, but guess what, Nadia? It's a blood sugar imbalance. And guess what we can do? We can balance your blood sugar with, vitamins and minerals. And you'll have to cut out this food and that food. And you'll begin to understand how it affects your body. But without this knowledge, you won't know what to do. And so my mom and I, we began the journey, and I would go to the doctor's appointments with her when I could. They give her the diagnosis, and she knew exactly what to say. She said, my daughter is a holistic practitioner. Before I make any decisions, I'm going to consult with her and the team of people that she knows. Again, I'm not the expert, but I have access to a naturopathic doctor who would then give us the information. And no matter what the situation was, he always has an answer. He's a world-renowned doctor, and I'm so excited to have him in my presence and to have access to him that I have to share him with the world, right?
Yes.
So that journey has been a phenomenal one. And I too am my own customer, right? I'm my own customer. I take vitamins and minerals every single day. And Stacy will tell you, right? Stacy will tell you I'm pretty adamant about my vitamins and minerals. So I just love doing the work. I love sharing the information because I'm an educator in that sense. And people are going to make the decisions that are best for them and their families. But I need them to know that there are people like me out there who are willing to help get them to the information. So I'm a broker of sorts. I give you the information and I point you in the right direction. And, just like a real estate agent, if you want to buy the house, you're going to buy it, right? If you don't want to buy the house, you don't buy it. So, it's a wonderful work, and I enjoy it a great deal. And I love doing consultations. And of course, as instructed, I'll put my contact information in the comments. But yeah.
Perfect. I love the fact that you give us the advice of getting a second opinion after you get a diagnosis from your healthcare provider. Especially in these times where, COVID-19 is out, we have to keep our immune systems boosted. And I can't tell you how many times I done diagnosed and misdiagnosed my own self. Because I felt a little temperature and like, oh my goodness, this is COVID. Or I coughed a bit and was like, I really think this is it. And go to the doctor and they're like, no, that's your allergies, Nadia. You may want to take some Claritin. So, again, I really want to emphasize that don't diagnose yourself at home. Don't feel like, oh, it's a headache, so that's okay. That's okay. Making sure that we are going to the healthcare provider to get the real diagnosis. But after that diagnosis, reaching out to you to say, okay, the doctor gave me metformin for diabetes, but is there something holistically that I can take, or can you help me get on a right meal plan? Can you help me get on the right supplements where I don't have to take this metformin that can hurt my kidney, but at least I can take, the vitamins and minerals that you're providing, or can guide me to, so that I can again live a healthier lifestyle and not constantly going back to the doctor like, okay, now the kidney, so now my vision, now this. With you, it's just like, okay, I need you to help me with this, and nothing else in my body gets affected.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I love that. I have enjoyed again having this conversation with you. I'm going to give you a moment to, of course, let our viewers know how can we reach you. Your contact information, again, I know you're going to put it in the comment section, but let us know how we can reach you. And of course, leave us with just an encouraging word on health.
Oh boy. So the one thing that I like to say, especially about health, and you hear it and it sounds cliche, but I want you to really, really take this in. Without your health, you're not able to bring finances into your home. You're not able to, move as you'd like to move. Without your health, you're not able to, enjoy being with family, friends. You can be isolated. It can lead to depression and other issues. So truly, truly, your health is your wealth. Without it, you cannot create a financial windfall. You cannot create a lifestyle that is conducive to how you want to live and the things you like to enjoy. And so taking care of your temple is next there, up there next to breathing, right? If you're able to get air into your lungs, you definitely want to begin to take as best care of your body as possible. You could live to be 100. And do you want to live in a body that, is just not functioning properly? Or would you like to completely live in a vessel that will allow you to do, what you want to do when you want to do it? So health is truly your wealth. You can all find me at Health Ambassadors, and that's spelled AMBASSADORS. Ltd.com. I have a contact form there. You can find out all about my services there. I do free consultations. And so all you have to do is book a time. It's a 30-minute consult. And I'm able to go over, some of your health history and give you a plan to move forward. And if you decide to commit, we'll go from there. So thanks again, Nadia, for having me on. It's been very exciting.
Listen, I'm about to find that contact and fill out that formulaire. You and I are going to talk about how we're going to get this blood pressure, diabetes under control in the right way. And I cannot wait. Again, just like how you love sharing your doctor and exposing, his information to everyone, I am really enjoy exposing your information to everyone and sharing you with each person.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So I want to thank you again for joining me on this conversation this evening. And again, we will be chatting soon, ma'am.
We will. Have a good night.
Good night. Bye. So we've spoke to Chai from Health Ambassadors Ltd. If it's one thing you want to do for yourself by the end of this show, and if you're catching this on the replay, you need to reach out to Chai to get your health analysis. Okay, especially if you have like an autoimmune disease or anything that you're going through right now health wise, you want to reach out to her so that she can get you on the right path to health. Because as Chai has told us, our health is our wealth. Okay, so I want to jump into now my island sister from another mother. I have the absolute pleasure to communicate and work with this lady very, very often. And she is, on past shows, I talk about multiple streams of income. She is the definition of multiple streams of income and why it's so important to have multiple streams of income. She operates 3 businesses successfully, one of them being a nonprofit organization. So I want to have a candid conversation with Miss Stacey D. Shaw to talk about each one of her business that she runs and how come she started each one of them. So welcome to the show, Stacey D. Shaw.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nadia. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight with you.
Yes, I am so excited to get into this conversation with you. They have a saying where the Caribbean people will always have more than one thing going.
Yes.
That definition, you and I put together, right?
That is so true. We always have more than one thing that we're doing. So
Exactly. Exactly. So I want to talk about first, we want to jump into your nonprofit organization, Destined to Be Free. I want you to just tell us a little bit about Destined to Be Free, the nonprofit organization. What is that organization about, and what made you start that organization?
okay, well, Destined to Be Free is a nonprofit organization that focuses on domestic violence awareness. And I started that organization because I am a survivor. And the fact that there are so many other individuals that are facing abuse, or they're survivors or they're victims and they're facing abuse and they do not know what to do, how to leave, and the resources that is needed to actually live after leaving an abusive relationship. So that was one of the main reasons for starting the organization, as well as what does it take to actually get back on your feet after leaving a relationship that is abusive. So that was the main reason for starting.
Yes, I love the fact that your organization helps, and I wouldn't just say women because helps everyone
Yes.
Get back on their feet after domestic violence.
Mhm.
Because it's so hard to look for what's next because I'm getting out of this relationship. And some of the stories that I've heard from your group and the ladies and gentlemen that's in your group, it's years and years that they've been in this relationship.
Yeah.
And now that the relationship is over, it's like, okay, what do I do now? So I love the fact that your organization is that step to what do they do now.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. So that's Destined to Be Free. So let's talk about the next venture, Brunel. Tell me a little bit about the Brunel agency and who exactly is your perfect client for that business.
Wow. Brunel actually was started because one of my gifts is administration. And I started a virtual assistant business years ago, but I actually have a significant passion for everything that deals with real estate. And when I say real estate, I'm not just speaking about the sales aspect of it. A lot of people think that real estate is just sales. Real estate includes sales, construction, real estate development, mortgage. It has different umbrellas. So everything that deals with real estate, I just had a passion for it. So I decided that I wanted to use my gift of administration to actually assist the real estate industry. So, having a job, I actually had a job in Florida where it was a real estate development, construction, and property management. And I had a boss who today is still my mentor. And he took me under his wings and he just started teaching me everything about development. And so, because of having the love for real estate, the gift of administration, and having, the perfect mentor boss that still guides me to this day, although I'm not in Florida and I'm not working for him anymore, I wanted to use that to all of that experience to start Brunel.
Brunel, I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you teach us that real estate is not just about going out, showing the home, and getting the
No.
sale. There is so much more into real estate.
Yes.
I love the fact that your company would definitely teach us more about that.
Correct. Correct.
Now, your final company, Stacy D. Shaw. Ma'am, you branded your name. And you're like, you guys are going to remember Stacy D. Shaw, the author, the entrepreneur. So I want to talk about the author side of you. That's just a little birdie told me that you did a collaboration book. I know Chai was one of the ladies
Yes.
as well. So tell me about the book. What made you all decide to write the book, and how can we get this book?
Okay, well, the book, the title of the book is Surviving Her. And it's 8 women who have endured. This is my, terminology. We have endured and we survived.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8 powerful women who share their stories.
Mm-hmm.
And each lady has a different story of what she endured and how she survived and how she's moving past whatever it is that she endured.
Mm-hmm.
So our visionary, Kathy Harris, she's the one that came up with the concept and the idea, and then the 8 of us wrote our individual stories.
Mm-hmm.
So why I decided to actually write my story right now, because I know with everything that I've been through, my story will be able to assist or help somebody who is going through a similar situation. My story is more about, it shares a little bit about the verbal abuse that I went through, but it actually shares the pivotal moment in my life that made me walk away from an 18-year verbal abusive marriage. So yeah, so that is what really my story is about. And where you can actually purchase that book is actually from my personal website, which is stacydmshaw.com. You can purchase my book there. We are actually having a virtual launch on September 1st, where you will be able to speak to all 8 ladies, as well as the visionary. So there is a link as well that we will share to you if you would like to attend the launch.
Right. And you said your website was Stacey D. Shaw.
D.M. Shaw, Stacey.
Stacey D.M. Shaw.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you know the instructions I give to everyone is in our comment section, so that we can start pre-ordering the book. Correct.
Yes, most definitely.
Perfect. So I want to definitely encourage our viewers to purchase the book, not only because it's sharing the stories of all these 8 beautiful ladies who have come together to talk about surviving any type of domestic violent relationship, but it also gives encouragement to men and women who may be in this domestic violent relationship and need some type of encouragement. I know within the book you all would definitely encourage everyone to learn the different signs of domestic violence. You know, I always tell you, I thank God that I have met you, because you've taught me that domestic violence is not only just about the black eye and the bruises.
Correct.
There is so many different parts to domestic violence that I didn't even realize. So I'm learning a lot about that from your organization, as well as I know reading each one of you guys' 8 stories in the book, I'm sure it's going to be an eye opener. Like, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that this is abuse, right? And then how did you? And I'm sure you guys talked about how did you leave? What was that breaking point?
Exactly.
That you decide to leave. And then it's like you can compare yourself, like, yeah, it's time for me to walk away from this. And I know I can reach out to Destined to Be Free to get me to where I need to be after I leave this relationship.
Correct.
So I appreciate that. So, ma'am, you are author, owner in the real estate market. So tell the viewers, what keeps you, structured and compartmentalized within each one of your business? What advice can you give us if we're trying to do more than one thing?
Okay, well, for me, there are 3 things that I firmly believe that you need to have. And the first one is having a right coach or mentor. That is very essential for the direction and where you're going with your business. The second one is having the right team. And I can't stress that enough, because your team, you are as good as your team. And you have to have the right team to be there with you. Even if you're making a mistake, you have somebody that is going to say, no, that's not right. No, you need to do this. But I would also say, with a team, if you have somebody on your team and they're not working out, it's better to let them go quickly than to keep them on for long time, and then when you're in the middle of doing work or something, that is when you feel that you have to let them go. So take your time to hire, get the right team, but let them go very fast if they're not working. And then the final tip is to have the right advisors. And what I mean by advisors, I mean bookkeeper, tax strategist, attorney. Have the right people in your corner, a marketing consultant, marketing designer, marketing specialist. Have the right people in your corner to assist you with your business.
Listen, I was over here with pen. Yes, right advisor, everything. So I really want to thank you so much for joining me this evening to talk about it is possible to run more than one business, but making sure, again, we have the right team, the right mentor, and time management is definitely something that we all need to be successful in running more than one business and being successful in each one of the businesses that we are running. And it is possible to get things done, right?
Yes, it is. It is very possible. I will just say one thing before I go, and that is if you have more than one business, try to make sure that they complement each other. Mm-hmm. And it works. For instance, with me, you may say, okay, you have an organization which is domestic violence, and you have a company that deals with real estate. How does that connect? Well, mm-hmm. For me, is that I want to be able, in the long term, be able to work with developers to build apartments for survivors. So I decided to get into real estate so I could learn as well, mm-hmm. not just a passion, but get into real estate so I could learn to while building the homes or building the apartments for survivors. So mm-hmm. As you can see, both businesses sort of, it's like a circle.
Complement each other.
It's like a circle. Right. Everything that I do has to be able to connect with each other.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to be a hairstylist and then go be a mechanic. Like,
correct.
Right. So making sure they complement each other. Yeah. And they at least, okay, if this business does this, then I know I need to maybe add a few different things in there, but at least they all in a full circle support each other at the end of the day, right? So I appreciate that that advice. Great tips from some of our viewers that's watching in. I want to thank each person that's watching in, and they are enjoying the tips that we are talking about today on Candid Conversation. So I appreciate you. And I cannot wait to connect with you on each one of these business levels and seeing you as successful author, entrepreneur, and nonprofit owner. Okay.
Thank
you. Have a good evening.
Have a good evening. And thank you so much, Nadia, for having me on Candid Conversations. I appreciate it.
Of course. See you soon.
See you soon.
So we heard from Stacey D.M. Shaw, who is author, entrepreneur, nonprofit owner, and she is teaching. She taught us again how to complement our business one within the other, and it is possible to run successful businesses and have, again, like I always teach you guys, multiple streams of income. If one thing didn't work out in your business and you have to pivot and try to do something else within your business, you can definitely get it done just knowing how and sitting down with, like Stacey says, having the right team, having the right mentor, right? So if you guys are watching the show right now, I want to thank each one of you for viewing. Send me some love, send me some hearts, send me some likes, have the comments going. I want to thank everyone for commenting right now. I appreciate each and every one of you. I took a few moments to write just a few tips on what helped me be successful in My Sister Keeper. And as you know me, just like Stacy, I have my nonprofit organization, Step Toward Awareness. I have Diva Designs as a designing company, a graphic designing company, and then I started My Sister Keeper. And just like Stacey, everything complements each other, which is now allowing me to have multiple streams of income. So if you are thinking about starting a business right now, I want you to grab a pen and paper if you didn't already, because the last three guests that I had on the show dropped some really great information, only taught us about investing in ourselves, and do not allow anyone to tell you that you cannot run a successful business, and always do what you want to do that you're passionate about. Chai taught us about health is our wealth, and getting holistically healthy is something that's very important. So I hope you all are going to see in the comment section Chai's information and reach out to her. And Stacy taught us about, having the right successful team and mentorship. Okay, so just a few tips from me this evening of how to run a successful business. Hopefully by now you guys have grabbed your pen and paper, right? So for me, it is the key to success is not the big things that you do every single time, but the little actions that you take on a consistent basis. If you know that posting at 2 p.m. every day is what is going to get most of your viewers or most of your people to interact with you on social media, then do that and make sure you're consistently doing just the little things on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to send out 300, 400, 500 emails as big tasks every day. Take it little by little, and you're going to see the growth in doing just the little things consistently. Next is never stop reading and learning and getting inspiration and reading educational books about your craft. Expanding your mind into, I'll give you a perfect example. I was just, a basic graphic designer. I knew how to do logos and flyers. And then I realized, oh, wow, I can do videos. Oh, wow, I know how to do different things. And that was from me reading and expanding on my craft. And like Oli taught us, investing in myself and investing in your education. And I had health is your wealth, but Chai took that one from you. So I'm going to give that one to her. She taught you that, not me. Okay. So focus on the important task first. You're going to realize in business, you're going to have 101 things that need to be done. You are just one person, one human being. You cannot get the 100 tasks done by yourself. So like Stacy taught us, making sure we're getting a successful team together and be able to delegate and get a system in place so that you can be successful. You cannot run the entire operation of a successful business by yourself. There's so many administrative tasks that needs to be done, you're going to burn yourself out. So making sure that you are learning how to prioritize and put things in perspective and putting timelines on each one of the things that needs to get done within your business, and making sure you learn how to delegate. Next, I have master discipline. So if you're like me, I may get sidetracked really quickly. So I'm working on a task and the phone rings and someone says, oh, Nadia, can you do this for me really quickly? And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. That was a bad habit that I had, because then it took me forever to get back to the task that I was trying to finish. So making sure you're keeping a disciplined mind and you're keeping yourself on a timely schedule to keep yourself on track. So if someone calls you and says, can you get this done for me? You're looking at your calendar. Oh, I can get it done in about 2 hours for you, because I know it's going to take me 2 hours to get this particular task done, so that you do not get overwhelmed and feel frustrated. Okay. This one I loved. Surround yourself with like-minded people. You will be a product of the people you surround yourself with. Make sure you are being inspired by your circle. Okay? Just remember, your network is your net worth. You cannot be, a phrase that one of my friends has told me the other day is, you cannot be the smartest person in your circle. And I was like, well, why not? Because you know what? Who else are you going to learn from? And I'm not telling you to drop, okay, that I'm smarter than you, so I'm dropping you. No, we're still going to remain friends. But to be successful in business, there has to be someone that you are looking up to say, I'm, inspiring myself to get to this other level. And how can I get to this other level? Is by learning from others and getting into a circle with like-minded people. If you're an entrepreneur and you have to be in business, you want to be around entrepreneurs. You can't be around, Lord, I don't want to call names, someone who sits at home and flips the channel. They can't give you advice. They can't help you be successful as an entrepreneur. You need yourself a business coach. You need yourself a team. You need yourself friends who can push you and drive you to be successful in business. So always surround yourself with like-minded people. I'm not telling you to drop friends tomorrow. Don't say, well, Nadia said I need to change my circle. No, Nadia said to just find another group that you can learn from. Okay, I can still call you on the weekend, but right now I'm learning how to develop my business. Okay, back up your goals with an action plan. A goal without a plan is just a dream. Break down your goals by step action plans and have a practical way to achieve them. I don't want you to say, I'm about to go open a Fortune 500 company tomorrow. That's not possible. Well, I'm not going to say things are not possible. However, if you know you want a Fortune 500 company, then you need to break down these things step by step. How do I get to a Fortune 500 company? Is it going to take me 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? And have that business plan together in knowing how you're going to be successful and get to that Fortune 500 company. Okay? And having these little tasks done on a day-to-day basis consistently is going to get you there. And my last one is manage your emotions. You have to take your emotions out of business. There are going to be people who will say, oh, no, Nadia, the business that you're doing is just not for me. And that's fine. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to tell you no. But you need to be able to take that no, turn it around and talk to somebody else, because you never know how close you are to your next yes in business, right? I have had the privilege within the last 60 days within my business to meet some phenomenal ladies that I just reached out to and I talked to and I connected with. And I said, hey, this is what my sister keeper is doing, and I would love to work with you. I would love to learn from you. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. I love exactly what it is that you're doing. And then 3 or 4 of them were like, no, I don't really need to work with anyone right now. And that's fine. But taking your emotions out, that way, when you get that no, you're like, okay, my sister keeper was just not for you. Let me move on. Because if I had stopped at my 3rd and 4th no, I would not have been able to network with over 22 ladies who are on my directory right now, and plus some that I'm working with right now as their business coach. So take your emotions out of the business and making sure you are staying focused. Okay? And last but not least is enjoy the journey. The journey is going to have some bumps and bruises. Not all is going to be, nice, sweet beds of roses as you go down the journey. But enjoy it. Celebrate your wins. Pat yourself on the shoulder like, yes, great job. Be your greatest supporter and your greatest cheerleader, right? Enjoy the fact whenever you accomplish something, celebrate it. Even if you're celebrating it by yourself and you're like, oh, cheers, Nadia, you closed this deal, good for you, right? So enjoy the journey. So I hope you all have enjoyed the tips and tricks of being a successful entrepreneur, the tips from me and from my guest this evening to talk about how to be a successful entrepreneur in business. If you are looking for a business coach, I am available. You can check out my website to schedule a consultation, but making sure that you are getting that business coach who is not just going to tell you, oh, yes, you're doing a great job. No, we're going to talk about how do we get you to where you need to be, right? And celebrate with you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my Sister Keeper Candid Conversations this evening. I have enjoyed spending my hour. Ooh, and I went over 2 minutes. Nobody put in the comment section, Nadia, you're going over your time. But I appreciate the fact that you guys have stuck around with me. Again, I will have candid conversations within the next 2 weeks. Again, as you know, I'm going to have some phenomenal guests, so stick around to see who is joining me in the next 2 weeks and what tips they are going to leave you to being successful in business. I hope each one of you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you again in 2 weeks.